can argue that if you want.
Well, I'm not arguing. I'm just pointing out you just did the thing that you claim to be opposed to. So that can't be the thing that you're opposed to because you're in favour of it because you just did it. So what is it that you're opposed to?
Before we jump in, tell me where you're tuning in from. And remember to like and subscribe. Your support helps the channel grow and keeps these stories coming. Because in this video, you're about to witness a textbook example of how an anti-woke argument collapses under the lightest pressure. Watch closely as James O'Brien doesn't rant, doesn't lecture, and doesn't lose his cool. Instead, he uses one calm, deceptively simple question to expose the contradictions sitting at the heart of this caller's worldview. The caller comes in confident, borrowing talking points straight from the Charlie Kirk playbook, convinced he's making common-sense objections that no one can really challenge. But as soon as James asks him to explain what he actually means, not the slogan, not the vibe, but the definition, the confidence starts to drain away. This isn't a shouting match. It's a slow, methodical unraveling. And by the end, what's left isn't a bold critique of wokeism, but a mess of half-formed ideas and self-contradictions the caller can't escape. So let's watch this together. Pay attention to how quickly certainty turns into confusion, and I'll give you my full breakdown at the end.
Before that, Phil is in St. Helens. Phil, what made you pick up the phone?
Well, I definitely didn't think... Thanks for having me on, by the way.
You're very welcome.
I definitely think I didn't think I'd be phoning in regarding this, even though I have thought about phoning in quite a few times. Charlie Kirk, right, I disagreed with much of what he says in the past. He was even evangelical Christian. I'm quite the anti-theist.
Okay.
So I would disagree. I disagree with absolutely everything. And I think a lot of his views were motivated by his religious belief. His daughter being raped and giving birth. I think he would have gone through with that because of his religious beliefs.
Sure.
Now, I disagree with a lot of what he said, but he did make some common sense arguments regarding men competing in women's sports, things like wokeism, which I am against. I think
What is it?
Wokeism?
Yeah.
Well, it started off with good intentions. It was.
But what is it?
What is wokeism?
Yeah.
Its original meaning or what it means now?
What you think it means?
Well,
the thing he was opposed to. And you've already mentioned transgender people, so we can't use that again.
Yeah, well, it's obviously I don't agree with men competing, biological men.
No, we've just said you've already said that. So when you add that, so it was the transgender stuff and also wokeism. So what's wokeism?
Right, original meaning of wokeism.
No. I know the original meaning. The thing you're opposed to.
The thing that I'm opposed to is it puts people into groups.
Yeah, what is it?
Wokeism. It puts people into groups and does not treat them as individuals.
Like who? Which people?
Religious minorities, ethnic minorities.
You're against religious minorities?
No, that's not what I said. I said it puts people into groups.
Evangelical Christians you're against?
You could argue that.
You said it?
I'm sure. Yeah.
You put them into that group yourself just then?
Yes, well, in this country...
So that doesn't work. So what else does wokeism mean?
It does work. It does. I mean, they...
So you're against the thing you did when you put all evangelical Christians in a group?
No, it puts people into groups.
Yeah, like evangelical Christians, but you're in favour of doing that because you just did it. So what else does wokeism mean?
Yeah, and in those groups...
hang on, I'm not... I mean, you can hear me. What does it mean, wokeism?
Well, now I'm trying to explain what it means.
Yeah.
It's divisive. It no longer... It makes people
that's an adjective, not a noun. You can't just say it's this, it's that. What is it?
I'm trying to explain. It's not. I can only explain it through what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's what it's become. I can't. Words migrate. So people are put into groups, and in those groups they're made to feel oppressed. Whether it's religious minorities,
like evangelical Christians.
Well, you can argue that if you want.
Well, I'm not arguing. I'm just pointing out you just did the thing that you claim to be opposed to. So that can't be the thing that you're opposed to because you're in favour of it because you just did it. So what is it that you're opposed to? What is the group you're really thinking of here that you feel is being unfairly maligned?
The groups in just people are being treated not as individuals.
Which people?
My whole point of me phoning up really is because we've become so factionalised.
Yeah, but which people are treated as if they're not individuals?
People of religious minorities, and they're made to feel like they're oppressed even though they're not.
Which people?
Okay.
Which religious minority?
You could argue Muslims, Hindus, people of colour, people of transgenderism, gays, You know, we're all put into our little groups now.
So wokeism attacks them, does it?
No.
Right.
Wokeism
defends them.
Defends them and makes them
and
feel
what's
like
wrong
they're
with that?
oppressed in some way.
What's wrong? Well, they are. You've just attacked evangelical Christians and transgender people in the space of this conversation. So they are being attacked. So how can you be opposed to defending them?
My point is, that you can attack. You're not attacking them. You're criticising. Okay, there is people have the right to do or what they please, but when them beliefs start impacting other areas negatively,
how does that happen?
Biological men competing in women's sports.
We said from the start when we were talking about what wokeism was, we'd already chalked up transgender people, so we're not having that one. What else is left?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Right, I'm quite outspoken in my anti-theism. I criticise Christianity and Islam in equal measure, but I could criticise Christianity all day long, and I don't get pushback. I get
so Muslims. We're too nice to Muslims.
When I criticise Islam, I don't criticise Muslims. I criticise the ideology.
Okay,
that's a distinct difference.
Yeah,
and I do not get the pushback from the left.
And who pushes back against you when you do that?
Yeah, well, if I criticise Christianity...
No, who pushes back against you?
Well, it is mainly people on the left.
But who? So, where are you doing this?
I'm doing this on open mic TikTok debates in the street.
So you're doing deliberate public provocation and you're complaining about the provocation being successful?
I'm complaining that I do not.
Why would you be left if people didn't push back? You'd have absolutely no grift at all, would you?
Yeah, but I don't understand why I do not get the criticism... But I do not get the pushback when I criticise Christianity.
Well, you're going to the wrong places. Go to Charlie Kirk's heartland. Go to the United States of America and stand outside the Westboro Baptist Church and try and do it there.
If I was an American, I would. But I'm not. But
there's probably places in this country that you could do it. Go and shout at people standing outside abortion clinics.
If I had the time, I would, but I'm a full-time working person.
Hang on, I thought you were doing on open mic TikToks all the time.
Yes.
Go and do it outside an abortion clinic where people are citing their Christianity as a reason why. Because the people like J.D. Vance think they're on the same side as you. They're anti-woke, but they're in favour of people using their religion to intimidate young women outside family planning clinics.
That makes me quite ideologically
homeless. Get out there, mate. Take the fight to them. Seriously. But let's stop calling it wokeism, shall we?
Well,
and call it anti-bigotry, which you've got a problem with, which I suppose leads us to one inevitable conclusion about what you're actually in favour of.
Now, this call is just one more example of an ideology collapsing the moment it's asked to explain itself. What James does here is quietly brilliant, because he doesn't try to win an argument in the traditional sense. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't moralize. He doesn't raise his voice. He simply asks the caller to define the word he keeps leaning on. The word doing all the heavy lifting in his worldview. And the moment that definition is required, everything starts to fall apart. That's the key move. Once the caller says that wokeism is about putting people into groups and making them feel oppressed, James calmly asks the most obvious follow-up. Which group? And when the caller names one, James immediately points out the contradiction. The caller has just done the very thing he claims to oppose. Using the caller's own words, the argument defeats itself. This is why these culture war labels are so fragile. They're not ideas. They're containers. They're vague terms people pour their frustrations into without ever agreeing on what they actually mean. As soon as you ask for clarity, the confidence evaporates. The slogans stop working. And what's left is discomfort. James exposes that without accusation or drama. He just holds the logic steady and lets the inconsistency reveal itself. That's why this approach works so well. It doesn't rely on outrage, it relies on coherence. And when coherence is missing, there's nowhere for the argument to go. That's the real takeaway here. You don't defeat bad faith arguments by shouting louder. You defeat them by asking them to explain themselves. So what did you make of it? Did you enjoy watching the argument unravel the moment it was asked to stand on its own? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you like and subscribe for more. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one.